Welcome to Refuse to Lose. My name is Joe Jordan. I am your host today. We're going to talk about basketball, guys. We're going to talk about the Sports Illustrated coming out with their top 100 NBA players. We're only going to focus on the top 10. But before we get into that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and enjoy the rest of the show. So Sports Illustrated came out with their top 100 players in the NBA going into this new NBA season. And I'm going to just read out real quick their top 10. That's it. We're only going to focus on the top 10. So at number 10, they have Kawhi Leonard. Number 9, Anthony Davis. Number 8, Joel Embiid. Number 7, James Harden. Number 6, Luka Doncic. Number 5, Nikola Jokic. Number 4, Stephen Curry. Number 3, LeBron James. Number 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's always a tongue twister saying his name. That's unique though. And number 1, KD, Kevin Durant. So I almost agree with this list. You know, I would put it in a different order. And because of Kawhi, I know I made a video earlier last month about my top 5. I had Kawhi Leonard in my top 5. But for this reason, I want to take him out because he's injured. He's not going to be playing throughout most of the season. So we're going to take him out. Just like we did with KD 2 years ago. KD, on the bubble season, he had the opportunity to come back, but they still didn't put him down in their top, or Klay Thompson, their top players because of the injuries. So we're going to take Kawhi Leonard completely out in this category. So I'm going to give you my top 10 list going into the NBA season. Number 10, I have Dame Lillard. Dame Dollar. Now, he's number 10. Now, last year, Dame Dollar averaged 28 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. So his points per game average is climbing up. He had an awesome closeout game against Denver in the playoffs, but he still fell short in the first round. Now, I believe Dame is maybe, if you count James Harden as a point guard, he's the 4th best point guard in the league right now. You take away James Harden, you add Luka, he is the 3rd. You take away Luka, he's the 2nd. You know, because some people don't consider Luka or James Harden a point guard, but Dame is one of the top point guards in the league. He's been proven for years. He just couldn't get it over the hump to get his team to the finals. He needs more help on that side as far as when to get there. So I have Dame Lillard at number 10. Number 9, I have AD. Anthony Davis at number 10. I'm sorry, number 9. Now, Anthony Davis had a poor season last year. Last season, he only averaged 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. 21 points is not enough for you to be number 9. But we all know going forward, he will play better. And plus, he's a huge presence on the defensive side of the ball. So that makes a lot of that helps a lot with his ranking because he's a two-way player, right? And this year they're talking about giving him more of the offense, putting a load more on him. But they said that last year it didn't happen. But he said this year going forward, he will be the focal point of offense. So I expect AD will be at least number 9 in this list, maybe higher. So number 8, I have Luka. I have Luka Doncic, right, number 8. Now, Luka last year, he averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. So he's like LeBron-ness, right? 27, 8, and 8. All right, or James Harden. I call him the foreign James Harden. All right, he's just like James Harden. They play just alike. Of course, James Harden ball handled is much better, but you know, and he could shoot better. But their games are similar. But I have Luka at number 7. Now, number 8. Now, Luka has a potential on being the top of the list, talent-wise, because he carries. He doesn't have a lot of talent on his team like the rest of these guys I'm about to name on the list. But yet, every year they still get into the playoffs and they compete with the Clippers, who's a title contender the last 2 years. They competed with them in the bubble. They lost 4-1, but they competed every single game. And then last year in the playoffs, they won 7 games with Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, and Luka was unstoppable. So Luka is my number 8 person on this list. Number 7, I have Jokic, the Joker, Nikola Jokic, right? So I have Jokic on this list. He's an MVP, all right? And the only players I have above Jokic are players who would have won MVP if they never got hurt. But everybody else that, like, so far I named Dame, I named Anthony Davis, and that named Luka. Those three guys were not going to win MVP last year. Luka wasn't hurt. Dame was hurt kind of, all right, but he wasn't MVP kind of. He was for a split second, and AD his performance wasn't MVP proven, all right. But so Jokic, he won the MVP last year. Last year he averaged 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists, which is pretty good. And early in the season, he was actually on track to lead the league in assists, which was going to be an awesome thing. So, and he's a very important player in that offense and that team. And they knocked out the Portland Trail Blazers in the first round. And he was also unstoppable against Portland. All right, so I have Jokic at that level at number 7. And number 6, I have James Harden. I believe James Harden is number 6 on the list. I have him above Jokic. Since James Harden never really got hurt, he had a chance to win MVP, but he ended up getting this injury. Now, James Harden, last year he averaged 24 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. Now, you got to realize he had a transition. He had to adjust. He was with Houston, putting up great numbers with Houston, and then he got traded to the Nets, and they had to adjust and things like that. But he actually came out and had a triple-double his first game. So I think a 30-point triple-double his first game. So James Harden is still one of the most elite players in the league. He really could be top 5, top 4, really. It's just that the talent he has on his team, right? He's not really the focal point of offense. Now, he is a ball handler. He's a point guard now. He's able to facilitate more now, but he's not the primary scorer like he was. In Houston, he was a facilitator and a primary scorer at the same time. While being in the Nets, his job is not to score at the time. So, of course, his points per game is going to drop down. And therefore, I have him at number 6. And number 5, I have Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is definitely number 5 on this list. Joel Embiid would have won MVP last year if he never got hurt. He would have won. All right? I mean, he was having his best season of his career last year. He averaged 28 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. And he also was second team all defense. And second team defense was a good deal. So he's also a two-way player. And they finished with the number 1 seed, even being injured. Right? And they didn't have a great record without him. And they still had the number 1 seed. So just imagine if he was fully healthy the whole year. He would have won MVP and then would have won. They would have had the best record in the league by a landslide. So I have Joel Embiid at number 5. At number 4, I have Steph Curry. Now, Steph Curry last year averaged 32 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Steph Curry had a great season. He also missed about 9 games, I believe. They made a play in it. They didn't make it to the playoffs. But you look at his team around him, they were terrible. We all know Klay Thompson was hurt. Draymond was hurt a portion of the year. Their rookie, Wiseman, he ended up getting hurt. So, and his supporting cast was terrible. Andrew Wiggins played pretty good last year, but he was inconsistent that time. So Steph Curry had to carry the load, and he did a lot with the little bit he had. And Steph Curry is still showing us that he is a top 4, top 3 player in the league. Number 3, we have LeBron James. LeBron James last year was 25.7 rebounds, 7 assists. Now, we're not a lot to say about LeBron. LeBron could be number 1, number 2, number 3. I mean, LeBron's LeBron. LeBron's the most consistent NBA player in NBA history. They also had injuries. AD was hurt most of the year, but when AD was hurt, the Lakers weren't winning a lot of games. So that actually hurt LeBron's case of his MVP case, right? Also, but last year, LeBron picked it up on the defensive end. He was actually number 1 in defensive win shares last year before he got his injury. And we all know what happened. He ended up getting hurt, and they dropped all the way down to, I believe, the 3rd seed or 2nd seed, all the way down to the play-in. So that also helped. Right there helped his MVP case. So LeBron is still valuable as he was 5 years ago, and he still averaged 25, 7 to 7. So I have LeBron number 3. And number 2, I agree with Sports Illustrated with these last 4 people. I have Giannis at number 2. Now, I wouldn't be mad at you put Giannis at number 1, but Giannis last year averaged 28 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Yes, he won the NBA championship, right? Yes, he beat out KD, who I have as number 1, obviously. But KD actually outplayed Giannis in that matchup. Just like I said in my previous video, when the Warriors beat the Cavaliers in the finals, LeBron outplayed Steph Curry. So LeBron was still the best player. Just because Steph Curry won the finals doesn't mean LeBron wasn't the best player. All right, so just because you win the game don't mean you're the best player. You just had the best team. All right, so Giannis, even though he dropped a 40-point game on the closeout game against the Nets, KD had 49. All right, so KD had an awesome game. When Kyrie was hurt, James Harden was hurt, KD, we all know I think he had 49 or I don't think he dropped 50. He had 49-point triple-double while taking the game over in the fourth quarter. So that's one thing about KD. He's a closer also while being a scorer, and if he could facilitate if you have to and rebound, and he's an okay defender. But Giannis is a great two-way player. He's dominant on both sides of the floor. So I won't be mad at you put Giannis at number 1. But on my list, I have a number 2. And once again, number 1 is KD. I mean, KD is unstoppable. I don't think nobody in the history of the NBA can guard KD. I was talking to my brother the other day. He said, listen, I don't think nobody can make it hard on KD. No matter who you put on KD, you can't make it tough on him. You got to just pray that he misses. All right? So KD is just unstoppable, and he can do everything. And I believe this year he's going to show the world that he's truly the best player, and it won't be close. I know a lot of people had the Nets and the Lakers going to the finals. If they meet up in the finals, I got the Nets winning 4-1, 4-2. It would not go 7 games, and it won't be a close 4-2. It would be the Nets look too good for kind of 4-2 if they stay healthy. So KD, best player in the league, and we're going to see how this stuff folds out, as the season goes on. As the season goes. And I'm excited to see this NBA season. We are counting down. We're almost a month away. And I can't wait just to watch basketball again. Great job. You made it to the end. I really appreciate that. You made it to the end. Now, before you leave this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell also so you can be notified when we drop our next video. And lastly, make sure use the comment section. Put your comments down. Tell me what you think about this topic we just went over. Tell me your comments, your opinions, and maybe we can have a chat debate in the comments. So I appreciate you guys for staying, and I'll see you at the next show.